Hello and welcome to Shaw TV's coverage of the 2017 Canada Day Parade right here in Port Alberni. I'm your host, Nancy Wilmot.
And I'm Charles Mealy. Welcome everyone to Shaw TV. 150 years, happy birthday Canada. 50 years of amalgamation for the city of Port Alberni. It's going to be a wonderful day today, Nancy.
Absolutely, it's a big day. I, of course, am 1967. You are...
I could be 2017. Absolutely.
Now, we're in a different spot for the parade this year. We're on 3rd Avenue, which I hear isn't brand new.
From what I hear from some historians, this was the original route. So if you want more information or a historian wants to tell me really how it is, you can always call me at home. But you could always go to the Alberni Valley Museum and check out the old pictures of all the old parades going up 3rd Avenue as well. Also like to take this opportunity to say this is Canada's 150th birthday, but we are here on the shared territories of the Hoopachesset and Sechot First Nation. We'd like to acknowledge over the 150 years of Canada that there has been some things that have happened. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to celebrate today. We do acknowledge our past. We are going to celebrate our present, and we look forward to the future as all Canadians together.
And the future is bright. And, you know, I just want to point out, we talk about First Nations. That's because they were here first.
Mm-hmm,
okay,
absolutely.
Maybe 150 years since Confederation.
That's right.
But this territory was First Nation territory for a lot longer than that. Now, I want to talk about what's going on today because there is so much happening. The Canada Day Parade, the Folk Festival, activities, everything Canada 150 happening down at Harbour Quay, but there are other events as well.
Absolutely. You got the Triconic Challenge, which will be coming through. And keep an eye for that, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to actually have runners run all the way through the parade today. And the parade might actually stop because they're going to race the train. We have the Okie Dokie Fantastic Tournament up on all the fields as well. A great tradition in Port Alberni that gives thousands of dollars to charities each and every year. There's so much more going on in this valley as well. And of course, at 11:15, if you want to head down to the Harbour Quay and be part of the flag raising and the opening ceremonies as well, please do that.
Now, I just want to talk about the Triconic Challenge a little bit more because this is day one of 3 events. Today is Race the Train. We're hearing the train whistle. It just set out from Harbour Quay, or from the train station at Harbour Quay. At the same time, the runners. So the runners are going to be racing the train to McLean Mill. Some of them are running further than that. They're running back as well. The parade is coming the other way. It's starting at the Catalyst parking lot. It's going to end a little ways further up on Kingsway Avenue. Then everything is centered at Harbour Quay.
And if you can see, maybe just on the wide angle in a bit, you can see the runners actually coming down this way.
Oh my gosh.
They're already over at the lead runner is already at the recycling depot. And I can see the train smoke. So it's definitely coming right now. Triconic Challenge is underway in Port Alberni on July 1st.
Okay, folks, happy Canada Day. We're going to let you enjoy the runners and the crowds and wait for the parade. Charles, I cannot believe how many runners we have. A lot of them a little bit ahead of the train. I just heard a train whistle. It's going to be crossing just a little bit further down on Gertrude.
That's awesome. It's like an unbelievable amount of runners at this point. Now, the train is just kind of past us. So what I think the key to this race right off the bat, at least I'm not a runner right now. I used to be a long distance runner back in the day, but if I was racing a train, I'd probably want to try to pass the train before the train crosses. Because if you get caught up and the train crosses, you're going to have to wait for the train, and then you got to keep running. So if the first...
Oh, I see the... Wait. I see the smoke.
That's right.
Okay, so the train is just passing us now.
That's right. So there's a fair amount of runners that will beat the train to the train tracks. So, and you can see everybody who is running, they're kind of looking that way to see where the smoke is. So that's quite nice that you have an idea. You can hear the whistle and you can hear the bell, but they can also see the smoke coming out of the stack as well. So you can definitely get a pretty good idea of if you're beating the train or not.
Such a good crowd of runners and such a great day for running. Not too hot, a little bit of a breeze.
And you can also, the crowd loves it. I mean, there are so many people they're just out on the street clapping away. Egging on the racers who come from all over the country, and I'm guessing all over the world as well.
The Triconic Challenge, of course, this is the first year for the Triconic Challenge, but there has been a Race the Train event for a couple of years. Bill Collette from the Chamber of Commerce caught on to this. He really caught the fever for it, promoted it well last year, realized we have something we can really grow. This year he's turned it into a Triconic Challenge. 3 days of athletes pitting themselves against Port Alberni technology. Today they're racing the train, of course, our steam train to McLean Mill. Tomorrow they are racing the Francis Barclay all the way to Bamfield by bicycle. That's a grueling one. And the last event, they are swimming Sprout Lake beneath the wings of the Martin Mars water bomber.
Now that's pretty cool. The second one out to Bamfield, I wish them all the best.
You're laughing, Charles.
Well, it's called the Bamfield Highway, and I go quotation marks highway because when I was on council, I would go with the director of Bamfield, who I saw yesterday, actually, of all things. We would go to the province and ask them if you're going to call it a highway, you should pave it or do something to it. And it's always kind of not in disrepair, but it is a gravel road. It's a gravel highway all the way down. So if it's going to eat up regular tires, I sure hope it's people have extra bike tires hanging around.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I do know that a group of Port Alberni cyclists have cycled it in advance to make sure it's doable, to know what they're up against when they're doing it faster.
Excellent.
And luckily for them, the trip on the Francis Barclay isn't really speedy. We're not talking about a speedboat, so...
No, it's quite a nice trip, actually.
Beautiful trip.
And if you ever have a chance, anybody in Port Alberni, I know it's one of those things in Port Alberni. And I always say this to some people. I'm a third generation Port Alberni, and you take things for granted. You look in the hills and go, oh, I wish I could go up there or whatever. Take the Francis Barclay. Like you said, swim or boat underneath the water bombers, or even go and take a tour of the water bombers. Things that we have in this community, we've had for a long, long time. And maybe you're too busy. Maybe you plan time out of town on your weekends and stuff like that, but there's still so much to do here.
Oh.
And if people would just remember that, and like I said, for those who have never taken the Francis Barclay down, it's an amazing trip. It's so beautiful.
Runners still coming, pacing themselves. You know what? I think that is a good strategy. Pace yourself. You got a long way.
Yeah, and I think also because it's going to be a really warm day, a high at 27, and the cloud has burnt off now. It was predominant this morning about a couple hours ago. So pace yourself, lots of water. Make sure it's a long way out to Cherry Creek, that's for sure. So
it absolutely is. And of course, the Triconic Challenge, all 3 stages are staged races as well. You can do an easy, you can do immediate, you can do a real tough grind. So there's different lengths on all of them.
Well, I can tell you right now, if I joined the Triconic Challenge, I would be a mix of Rosie Ruiz and Michael J. Fox, in which I would come out of nowhere and then I would hang on to the back of the train. And then when I got there, I go, hey, I won. Look at that. So.
Charles Mealy, you wouldn't cheat. I know you wouldn't. You wouldn't cheat.
Oh, my goodness.
But you and me would both be hanging on the back of the train.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay.
And that's another thing in this town where a lot of people haven't gone on the train. And if you haven't gone on the train, take that trip. It's an amazing just time to go out to the mill and back. It's another little hidden treasure in this valley. So
it is a hidden treasure in the valley. Now, of course, from the other direction, we are waiting for the parade to arrive, and it will be arriving soon. It is a new route, a brand new staging area. The route was changed this year, of course, for the Canada 150 celebrations that are happening immediately after the parade. They'll start. There's all sorts of things happening, flag raisings, music, craft markets, farmers markets.
Yeah, here, I'll go through some of them right now. Absolutely. So the farmers market. So if you're watching live, farmers market's on from 9 till 12 today at the Spirit Square down at the Harbor Quay. And that goes on every Saturday anyways. But they just wanted to promote it as well and say, hey, look, this is always here. Come on down every Saturday. And you have your local farmers who come down and sell their goods. So again, an opportunity for you to buy fresh local produce and other things that people have made in town. So again, you can reduce your carbon footprint by doing that. Also, don't forget the Maritime Discovery Center and the HMS Edmonton is in town as well. So we can touch on that a little bit as well.
Oh, here comes the parade. The parade is coming, being led by an RCMP car, of course.
Absolutely. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 2017 Canada Day Parade. Happy birthday, Canada. Canada 150.
Canada 150, Port Alberni 50.
Got to remember that. Got to keep remembering.
Got to keep remembering. Otherwise, people just think I'm dressed goofy for nothing.
No, you look great today.
As to you, it's 2017.
And, I'm looking modern. It's just what I usually wear on a regular basis. So, but it is nice. You see the Port Alberni Folk Fest Society right after that as well. When they get a little closer, and we'll talk a little more about that. But there's just so much going on this weekend. Please, okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Fantastic tournament, which, like I said, and during the opening, is one of Port Alberni's traditions now. Raised so much money for local charities. Unbelievable event. So many. I think there's 80 plus teams here this weekend. If you were able to find a hotel room last night, I would be surprised because this place is packed. So
yeah, the RCMP car leading the way with the Port Alberni Folk Fest banners. Immediately behind them, we have the West Coast Highlanders pipes and drums. Now, they've been seen and heard in Port Alberni in every parade I've ever been to, in all sorts of ceremonies and celebrations. And a lot of people don't realize this band offers free instruction to young people and adults interested in learning how to play the bagpipes or drums so they can continue to grow and play for our community. You know, it's building in succession. They're teaching you.
Absolutely, and they actually meet every Wednesday evening. So if you're interested in playing, check out their Facebook page for more information. This past year, the band has had many new band members, and 2 of their youth won medals at the Victoria Highland Games in piping.
That's
all right.
Something.
Absolutely.
Way to go.
That's some lungs on those youths, absolutely. The band is a very enthusiastic group of musicians who enjoy playing Scottish music together and bringing it to events in Port Alberni. We hope you enjoy their music as they enjoy playing it as they come down 3rd Avenue today. And it's not a parade without bagpipes.
It's not a parade without bagpipes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. And you know what? It's not a parade in Port Alberni without sirens, too.
That's right, absolutely.
You need sirens, you need bagpipes.
Okay, so so we got sirens, we've got bagpipes.
And then we've got the Royal Canadian Legion Color Party, of course. For more than 90 years, the Royal Canadian Legion has held true to their mission. They provide representation, advocacy, and financial assistance to serving and retired veterans and their families free of charge. They honor the men and women who put their lives on their line for Canada.
Hear, hear.
And they work to ensure we never forget that. And you know what? They contribute thousands, actually millions of dollars over the years to local and national charities.
Absolutely, they do. And
hardworking people.
Absolutely, and a lot of these people coming down, as we call them, from the greatest generation. Again, without them, we aren't here today. We thank them very, very much for all that they've done, their comrades in arms as well, and the ultimate sacrifice made by thousands and millions around the world.
Oh, and there are more uniforms coming, Charles. Oh, my God. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police Red Surge Contingent. It's our national police service.
Absolutely.
They're very proud of their traditions, and they're confident to meet future challenges and committed to preserving the peace, upholding the law, and providing quality services in partnership with their communities.
Also like to take the opportunity to notice that there are 2 from their critical response team, or SWAT team, right behind as well. So that's the first time, if I'm not mistaken, in a parade.
Oh, and I've got to get these guys in before
Absolutely.
they get past us. 50 marchers from the HMC SS Edmonton. This Royal Canadian Navy ship is in port right now. You can go down and take a tour Royal Canadian Navy is composed of approximately 8,400 full-time sailors and 5,100 part-time sailors.
Oh, they look great. And right behind them, looks like
who's that?
It looks like the hockey player from parts unknown. But behind that is the community policing, including cops, speed watch, community policing office, lockout, auto crime, stolen auto recovery, block watch, cell watch, restorative justice. It's a more group of volunteers helping out our community.
Holy crow, that was a mouthful. But behind them, we have the Royal Canadian Legion float. Now, this float, of course, carries elders. Now, these are the veterans who fought.
These are the veterans that we really need to take as national treasures. They come out every year. I see Mr. Hart, a good friend of mine as well. Very nice man.
If you meet these gentlemen, these ladies and gentlemen, say thank you.
Please do, each and every day. Don't just do it on Remembrance Day or Canada Day or Christmas. When you see them, you give them the respect they deserve, please.
Absolutely.
Right behind them is a Handy Dart. Port Alberni's transit system is happy once again to provide transportation for the Legion members so they can participate in the Canada Day Parade. Our Handy Dart system provides rides to seniors and those who have various forms of disability that hinder them from using either city buses or their own vehicles. For more information, call them at 724-1311.
Oh, and here come the Navy Leave Cadet Corps. This is a volunteer youth program for boys and girls between the ages of 9 and 11, with an objective of giving young people the opportunity to develop good mental, moral, and physical training, develop patriotism, good citizenship, a sense of duty, discipline, self-respect, in a naval environment suited for young people. Navy Leave Cadets are introduced to community service, naval customs, and traditions.
Hey, that's my old boat, the Francis Barnacle.
Oh my gosh!
They took all the barnacles off.
I was going to say, somebody scraped that hull.
Yeah, and what an amazing representation of another warship. And I'm
lovely.
sorry I don't have it here.
I don't have it here either,
beautiful.
But it is lovely.
Absolutely
it is very
beautiful.
lovely. Navy Leave Cadet Corps, very active in our community.
All right, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, and again, these are other personal favorites of mine because they give out cookies. Girl Guides of Canada. Girl Guides is for girls ages 5 to 17. Registration is done online and available now at girlguides.ca. We start up again in September and go till the end of May or mid-June. For more information, call Lorna at 724-2487 or email at lornaggc@shaw.ca. Adult members are always welcome and training is available. Call Lorna to see how to register as a Girl Guide.
And immediately behind them, we have a late entry, the Art Rave Society of Port Alberni, with this most amazing salmon that they've built.
Oh.
Now, they've been creating this at Char's Landing. There is, of course, already a mermaid luminary in Char's Landing. This is made of tissue paper, stretched over, I believe it's a bamboo frame. I might be wrong.
Interesting.
Art Rave, of course, a very active society in our community, committed to promoting and fostering the arts in the Alberni Valley.
That is well done.
They've got a great show on Shaw TV, too, called Rave on the Arts. Check it out.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
After that, it is the Pago Grannies. The Grannies are back, part of a much bigger national organization, the Stephen Lewis Foundation. It is a grassroots organization that was developed since the AIDS-HIV epidemic that has devastated Africa. The result of this devastation, the fact that a generation was lost and millions of children orphaned, the grandmother stepped in under raising children at this point.
Great organization, Pago Grannies. Support them whenever you can. Oh, Citizen of the Year. It is Mr. Jeffrey Cook, being driven in the honor car by Don DeForest.
That's right. Another fine citizen of this community. Again, takes one to know one. Nancy is a former Citizen of the Year, had to put that out there. But Mr. Jeffrey Cook, Citizen of the Year this year. Well-known person in the community. I don't think I've ever heard anybody who doesn't love Jeff, actually.
And he's everywhere.
He is, so...
Oh, and immediately behind that, we have Mayor Mike Rattan.
And it looks like
in a hot little red sports car.
Councillor Ron Polson, and I believe driving his daughter's car. Not a big deal, but...
She lent it to Dad.
That's what it is, so looks good.
Oh, and is that Dusty and Colleen Miller? I do believe
Absolutely.
It is.
It's Pause for a Cause, Scotiabank BC SPCA. Pause for a Cause. For more information, you can go to spca.bc.ca/walk.
Oh my gosh, they're coming so fast
Fast
now,
and
Charles.
This is
Here
Vic
we have
Laughlin.
Vic Laughlin
Celebrating 100th birthday in the 17 Model T Ford, owned by Vic Laughlin himself. And the vehicle is 100% Canadian made and was available for purchase in any color so long as it's black, according to Henry Ford.
Well, it was perfect in black. Oh, and here comes Doug Schmitz in his custom hot rod, a 1932 Ford pickup truck. He calls his color 5-star green special mix. I just call it hot.
It's beautiful. After that is the Hospice Society, Alberni Valley Hospice Society. sustains compassionate care, human dignity, and provides education and advocacy to individuals and their families facing lifetime illness, death, and bereavement. Hospice palliative care is a whole person health care that aims to relieve suffering and improve quality of living and dying.
Holy simoly, it's hard to keep up with this. The BC Ambulance Service is wishing everybody a happy wishing Canada a happy 150th birthday, and hopes that everyone has a safe, happy, and healthy celebration.
And we hope they have a safe and happy weekend as well.
And a quiet weekend.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Now, after that, the Alberni Valley Search and Rescue Squad, the AVRS Search and Rescue Team based in Port Alberni, of course. The team consists of approximately 40 volunteers at this time, skilled and trained in search and rescue operations in a variety of settings. The AVRS performs approximately 25 search and rescue operations annually. If you have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, these are great people. Volunteer for them or make a donation to the Alberni Valley Rescue Squad.
And very often, these are rescues we don't necessarily hear about. They're called out in the middle of the night, and we might hear about it in the news 2 days later. We don't hear sirens. We just good people going out to do their job.
Absolutely, and a lot of the times it's people getting lost in the woods or however and it's at nighttime a lot of times. So these people are working people. They have regular jobs, but they still go out at nighttime and help out people in our community and people who maybe are visitors to our community that need our help. So the Alberni Valley Rescue Squad's top notch in my books.
Oh, thank goodness we've got a bit of a pause here, Charles. I was losing my breath.
I think they're just handing out candy. I think the ambulance service stopped to hand out candy. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Talk about traditions in the parade.
So we're talking about pipers, we're talking about the veterans. You got to have candy.
Red Surge.
Right? So candy's part of it too.
Okay, but what else? Fire trucks.
Fire trucks, absolutely.
Here come the fire trucks.
Yeah, so first off, ladies and gentlemen, just down the road here is the Port Alberni Fire Department. Number 23, ladder number 2. The Port Alberni Fire Department is a compassionate professional organization committed to the protection of life, property, and the environment, the avoidance of harm, and the elimination of suffering. The Port Alberni Fire Department is a progressive and dynamic organization committed to excellence in the delivery of service.
Absolutely. And when that delivery of excellence means keeping your house from burning down, you appreciate that.
Absolutely. And not only that, they're also first responders. So when calls come out and the ambulance service can't make it, they also get called out. And so a lot of times they're first responders delivering critical first aid right off the bat.
Now, coming up behind the Port Alberni Fire Department is the Beaver Creek Fire Department in there. Would you call them green? I call them green trucks.
Oh, yeah, they're green, absolutely.
Beaver Creek Volunteer Fire Department provides fire protection, auto extraction, and first responder services to the Beaver Creek area.
You got them all handing out stuff. Beaver Creek Fire Department handing out stuff to the kids.
Oh,
freezies, it looks like.
Freezies.
Gotta have freezies, that's right.
They know their audience.
Absolutely. So, okay, so behind them, ladies and gentlemen, you look down the road and one of these things might not look like the other kind of deal, but that's our history. That's an old Dodge, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Cherry Creek Fire Department, celebrating 55 years of service. The original members of the fire department started their training in 61. The hall was officially established in 62, and their first truck was a 62 American LaFrance, which is in the parade today, along with their newest fire engine right behind them, a 2010 Pierce Contender. Cherry Creek Fire Department is currently seeking out potential volunteers that have a passion for firefighting and helping their community. So if you have an opportunity, you're in the Cherry Creek area, volunteer for your Cherry Creek Fire Department.
Great way to serve your community.
And not only that, going back to, there is a mutual aid agreement between the city and the outlying areas. So if you do volunteer for the Cherry Creek Fire Department, chances are you'll also be helping out the city of Port Alberni, Beaver Creek, Sprout Lake as well.
And I should point out that volunteer fire departments receive excellent training.
Absolutely they do.
They just don't hop in their car and go to fight a fire. They know what they're doing.
Oh, no, there's way more training. Things have changed over the last 50 years, I can say that. And definitely the people that are driving and riding in these trucks today are very well trained, and you have no problem. I would have no problem having someone from Beaver Creek, Cherry Creek, Sprout Lake, or the City of Port Alberni Fire Department to come and help me in a time of need. So
now, could those be new young volunteers on these trucks? I don't know. Maybe future volunteers.
Volunteers in training, right? Getting their first shot at it right now, right? So.
Oh, and here comes the Sprout Lake Volunteer Fire Department.
Thanks for the freezy.
They have a long
look at this.
Thank you so much. We got freezies.
Sprout Lake Fire Department, a long and varied history, has been in the community of Sprout Lake since 1965. If you've seen a Port Alberni parade before, you have seen this old fire truck here from the Sprout Lake Fire Department, well restored as well. Well, Sprout Lake Fire Department's on the horn, telling everybody how it is, so we love that. So Big thanks to Sproat Lake Fire Department. They have 3 halls, dedicated volunteers to continue to keep Sproat Lake and the surrounding areas safe.
Oh, and coming up behind here, we have the Tishot First Nation bringing along, they're proudly displaying one of their traditional dugout canoes. This one was built in 2012 by Joe Martin. Now, the Tishot First Nation is made up of 1,200 people, actually over 1,200 members. Through marriages and alliances, a series of wars, and the incorporation of affiliated groups, the Tishot's traditional territory extends from the Broken Group Islands all the way up the Alberni Inlet and through the Alberni Valley. And being honored with a ride in the canoe are some of the recent Heopiak Elementary and ADSS graduates.
Isn't that nice? It looks great. What a great day for it, too. We have member Shay Dorn and her painting service in her truck up front, towing the canoe today. Well-known youth member and mentor, I would say, Ed Ross here, carrying the cooler for all the kids to have their freezies. He's well known in his community.
Very well known.
And is well respected as well. So we're very happy to have Tishot First Nation and their representatives here today as well.
Oh, and immediately behind them, we've got some Lions, the Alberni Valley Lions Club. They meet at 6 p.m. on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month in the Cathedral Grove Meeting Room at Chance's Rimrock. I think they're inviting you people. That's the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month at Chance's Rimrock. They do so much. They have an Alberni Valley Lions auction every year, of course, on Shaw TV. But they do all sorts. They contribute to so many good causes.
Thank you.
Great organization to get involved in. And you know what? They just have a lot of fun. Oh, Alberni Valley Pride Society.
Absolutely. Alberni Valley Pride Society registered in BC last year. This year's Pride festivities are on July 22nd and 23rd. 19 and over dance, drag show on the 22nd, and all ages family event on the 23rd at Recreation Park. Everyone will be welcome. Year-round activities being planned to serve the LGBTQ community in the Alberni Valley as well. Thank you very, very much.
And I understand we're going to get our first rainbow crosswalk very shortly.
Absolutely. The city has approved that, so we're just all-inclusive in the city of Port Alberni, and I love it.
Absolutely. Oh, look at this. Here's a lion hanging out flags.
There's a lion. Look at that.
I've got 2 flags now.
I've never seen a bad lion in my life. So
you know what? I've never seen a bad lion.
That's right. Who's up next is the Kinsman Club of Port Alberni. I think we all know the Kinsman Club. They are here today with their float, and they will be, of course, putting on the Fall Fair come this year. So definitely it's nice to see the Kinsmen as part of this parade today. They have their flags going. They have City of Port Alberni flag. And if I'm not mistaken, Dave Hubert is in the back, and I believe it's his birthday today.
Is it really?
I think it is.
Born on Canada Day? Well, happy birthday, Dave.
Dave is one of the well-known people in the community, a well-known kinsman as well. Another guy you could say, hey, I know Dave. No one can hate the guy, right? So.
And, of course, the Kinsmen doing so much. They've got the Fall Fair that they're deeply involved in. They also have a soapbox derby this year coming up. Go online, find out.
They're trying to chuck candy at Mr. Van Clay in his own truck. So
sheesh.
Everybody's having a great time today. Everybody's having a great time today. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Spirit Square. Really quickly, the dog there, and that's Tim Towell from the Spirit Square Farmers Market, open 9 to 12 Saturday mornings year-round. This is the family service dog, Baya, with her protege Tana in the wagon as well. So check out the Spirit Square Farmers Market every Saturday.
And immediately behind them, we have the Port Alberni's unit office of the Canadian Cancer Society. This group is representing the Port Alberni Canadian Cancer Society office, and they support people who are struggling with cancer by helping them out, providing information, services, kind of helping them put together a roadmap of how to get through.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of people, not just in this community, all over the province that need that service. And another service that is provided, and I love that, is the Freemason Cancer Van, giving free transportation to cancer patients, taking them to treatment facilities in Nanaimo and Victoria for over 20 years. The service is from Campbell River South all the way to Victoria. So many great people here today. Look at this.
Oh, the Canal Beach polar bears. Have you taken the dip at Canal Beach?
No, I have not.
I've done it. Well, this is the first year, I have to admit, I didn't go in. Our participants support healthy habits, silly practices, and recreational use of our waterfront. believe in a positive future for the Port Alberni community. And if you haven't been down to Canal Beach, people, you really got to get down there. You might just be surprised.
And we just got some gum given to us by Canal Beach supporter and former Mayor John Douglas.
There you go.
4-H ambassadors up next.
Oh, they get the prettiest car.
They got, that is a beautiful thing. 4-H is thriving in the Alberni Valley and is growing. Our district is comprised of 3 clubs: Clover Patch 4-H, Boots and Bridles, and Aerosmith 4-H, with members ranging from 6 to 19 years of age. Projects include horses, livestock, photography, outdoor living, and many others. And in the lead car today, there is a junior and senior ambassadors who represent our clubs at public events. Will be doing the draws at the Alberni Fall Fair. Following them are 2 floats put together by Aerosmith 4-H and Clover Patch 4-H. Boots and Bridles focuses on both dogs and horses, and these riders are proud members of the club. Happy Canada Day from all the members involved in this great organization. Everybody's having a good time.
Everybody's having a good time.
Look
How
at that.
can you not have a good time? It's a perfect day. Not too hot, a bit of a breeze. Beautiful crowd out here cheering everybody on, supporting these young people who came out.
I think the guys in the truck are having just as good of a time as well.
I think so too.
So, nonetheless, everybody's just having a wonderful time. The weather's been perfect, too.
The weather, you couldn't ask for anything
And
better.
not just for the people, for the animals as well. I mean, that's a big part of every parade, and also to ensure that the animals are not just showcased, but taken care of as well. A great breeze through the valley today on Lower 3rd Avenue. So we're very happy to have everybody here, and including the 4-H Club.
Now, I do believe this is another 4-H club. This is the Aerosmith 4-H club coming. Is one of the 3 4-H groups in town. Clover Buds are from 6 to 9 years old, and they explore different projects. 4-H is not just about animals. They like things like gardening, bicycling, crafts, foods, and photography. The Aerosmith, they're singing. I love it. This 4-H club also offers 9 to 21-year-olds an outdoor living project and poultry project, because their motto is learn by doing. They go on an outing every month to learn about what 4-H offers. We'll look for them at fairs this summer.
And they got the Backcountry Horsemen of BC, Alberni Valley chapter.
Oh, these are lovely horses. One's even got kind of a Canada Day headpiece on.
That's very nice.
It's beautiful. I've never seen that before.
Keeping the sun rays off the ears, you know?
Absolutely. That's a fine looking horse.
Hide your gold.
Uh-oh.
Right behind them, it's the Beaufort Gang.
It's the Beaufort Gang.
The Dastardly Beaufort Gang.
The Dastardly.
Again, the Beaufort Gang is a group of volunteers that will rob the train every year.
Dastardly.
And I know they used to try to keep it a secret, but if you ask ahead of time, they'll probably tell you when it's going to happen. But nonetheless, it's an amazing and entertaining part of the ride out to McLean's Mill. So at any given time, if you have an opportunity to take the train, try to get it on a day where the Beaufort Gang's going to rob the train. They'll have the robbers come on in masks and steal all your gold. So as long as you don't bring any gold, you should be good to go.
Now, am I right? Maybe the Backcountry Horsemen are trying to stave off that attack on the train. There was almost a mini confrontation there, head to head.
That's right. Yeah, let them know. I got my eyes on you.
I've got my eyes on you, you dastardly bunch.
Yeah.
Oh, look at these horses. They're all so lovely.
Oh, they're beautiful.
All volunteers, I must point out.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, now we know who they are. They don't have their masks on.
They don't have their masks on. They've been on masks.
That's right. So at least we know where all the gold's ending up at the end of the day.
There you go.
But again, if you have an opportunity to take the train, please do. When the Beaufort Gang robs the train, you won't be disappointed.
Oh, look at I think they might have kidnapped some lovely train passengers. Don't worry, ladies. You'll be free soon.
They're tough. They can get out of that.
It must be tough if they're walking this route in those dresses.
That's
These ladies are tough.
And here we go, the Triconic Challenge. The Alberni Valley Chamber of Commerce hosts the local visitor center, and over the past 4 years has had the mobile visitor center as well. The combined with this year is the Triconic Challenge van. The van will be brought to many locations throughout the area during the summer months and be available at any and all local events. Chamber of Commerce are looking for volunteers to assist with this program through its ambassador network this year. Please visit the office at the visitor center if you're interested in this fun opportunity to be an ambassador for your community.
And the ambassadors, of course, you can spot them anywhere in their yellow jackets. They're at the Grove, they're on the Francis Barclay, they're at Harbor Key, they're everywhere. Oh, and here we have the Alberni Valley Kennel Club. See, it's not just horses that walk the route, it's dogs too. They've been around for about 50 years. They've got a small membership, but they're very active in dog breeding, breed confirmation, show handling, junior handling, and various obedience and training programs. They offer basic obedience training classes for every dog at Cherry Creek Hall on Monday evenings all year long. Check them out on their website, albernivalleyKennelClub.wordpress.com, or you can visit their Facebook page.
And it looks like the Alberni Valley Kennel Club, again, the dog show is October 13th, 14th, 15th at Glenwood Center this year, so make sure you get your tickets.
Oh, here it comes. Every year I say the same thing, but this year it's really
No, it's mine.
It's mine. It's mine. You don't need that.
I see it every day,
You
actually.
see it every day.
Yes, I do. This is the 2017 Fall Fair truck, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, that's another tradition in this valley for years and years and years, is the Fall Fair has their raffle for a vehicle every year. This year, ladies and gentlemen, it is a 2017 Ford F-150 XLT with the XTR package. A beautiful truck here, ladies and gentlemen. You can get your tickets through the Kinsman. There are tickets at Van Al Ford, who is sponsoring the truck as well. So definitely, it's really nice to see the truck out today. And make sure you get your tickets. Of course, these are one of those events. You got one lucky person at the end of the Fall Fair that will drive away in a brand new vehicle, and that could be yours this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Immediately behind the Fall Fair truck, we have Literacy Alberni. Now, this is a not-for-profit literacy provider. It serves the Alberni Valley community and the west coast of Vancouver Island. They strive to elevate the literacy levels of everyone in the community, and they provide adult and family literacy programs. They also engage innovative social enterprises, and they are the area's ESL training center. I kind of said that wrong, but they do offer ESL classes. If you know a new Canadian, if you know somebody who's new to Canada, new to Port Alberni, refer them to Literacy Alberni. And one of my favorite guys, Graham Hughes, handing out books. Of course they are handing out books. Literacy Alberni, folks, check them out.
No, dog wants to take a jump and drive away.
Oh,
Isn't that
and
nice?
here is a boat raffle. If you don't want to win the truck,
I've got a ticket on that as well.
But this Aquarium and Stewardship Center.
The Aquarium and Stewardship Center down at the Harbor Key this summer. They're hosting fun summer camps for kids, but not just a place for education, also help habitat restoration around the Alberni Valley, such as tree planting, salmon enhancement with their net pen projects. You can get your tickets down at the aquarium. They're only $20. That's about $15,000 worth of stuff in that boat. So you can win that.
Holy cow.
All you got to do is buy a ticket.
Wow, $15,000 worth of stuff. Oh.
Faithful Plumbing and Heating here. Faithful Plumbing and Heating, working in the Alberni Valley, West Coast, Parksville, and Qualicum Beach. They've been in business for 2.5 years, and if I'm not mistaken, it's their first time in the parade. So thank you for your support, and a happy Canada Day.
And thank you for the music. Oh,
and the bubbles.
And the bubbles.
I saw the bubbles. Look at the bubbles are going all the way down the street.
I love
wonderful.
So. That's wonderful.
Next up is the Trinity Church. And their next float is all about love. They have a big heart on the back of the truck, ladies and gentlemen, and that comes from Trinity Church, an Anglican and Lutheran shared ministry. The people of Trinity are all about walking the talk. Everyone is welcome to join them to explore, grow, and connect in a love that is centered in God, centered in love, the words we see around the truck. Happy birthday, Canada, from the people of the Trinity Anglican and Lutheran Church.
So much going on. I don't know what to talk about next, but a motorcycle just zoomed past the Trinity Church.
Flying around today, having a great time. Bubbles everywhere from the previous float.
Hearts and love on the Trinity Church float.
Yeah. Oh, and right behind them, it looks like the Full of Beans Play Cafe. Full of Beans truck from Port Alberni's only Play Cafe. They have a terrific indoor play space for children's 8 and under, as well as a full menu of coffee, teas, baked goods, smoothies, cold drinks, and lunch items. They're celebrating 1-year anniversary today with special activities, so check them out. Full of Beans Play Cafe. It's not just for kids, and that's located on Argyle Street. If I'm not mistaken, it's right across from the Bank of Montreal.
It is. Okay. It absolutely is.
All right, I got that right.
Oh, and here we have the churches of Port Alberni coming together to create a float. Actually, this looks like a lot of fun. This looks like a lot of young people waving flags, having a lot of fun, celebrating the churches of Port Alberni and wishing Canada happy birthday.
And right behind them, it's the Alberni Valley Jeep Club, a casual group open to all off-road enthusiasts exploring the valley back roads and organizing large group runs. Join us on Facebook under Alberni Jeep Club.
Okay, 2 of these Jeeps are very clean. One of them actually looks like it's been off-roading, and I like that, Charles.
Yeah, and I know the guy, too. He's used to getting down and dirty as well, so usually without the Jeep, but I played football with Lance a long time ago, so great guy. But yeah, I think he took that out a little bit yesterday.
I think he did. Good for him.
Why wash it, right?
Why wash it?
Why
You shouldn't.
wash it?
It's an off-road club.
Chances are it's just going right back out there.
Okay, but we got a lot to say about the Port Alberni Toy Run because this is the biggest little run on the island. Who would have thought they could do it? A few people got together one day and decided that if motorcycles can make kids happy, why doesn't the whole club? So they joined together with local churches, support from the Junior Chamber of Commerce JCs and the Salvation Army, and it all came together to become an organization that has given over $1 million to children's charities in the Alberni Valley. It's a big deal.
Merry Christmas, says Dave Lubichar. Well, I think we're lacking Santa. Usually we have Santa.
He's on the float. Come on.
Is he that? Is that where he is? Ah, there he is.
They wouldn't do the toy run.
You got to have
in the
Santa as part
Santa.
of it. Exactly. So
Santa's always in the toy run.
Now, is it the same Santa this year as it usually is?
I don't. Actually, it might be.
Okay, because
we're looking under the beard here.
We're trying to look under the beard.
Discern whether this is.
Well, it's funny.
Is it?
Just a little bit of background for the people. Santa is usually played by Gerard Jensen, ex-MLA, ex-government whip when the NDP was in power, which is ironic because Scott Fraser, MLA now, will perhaps take that spot in the new government. So it's all around him.
I can't tell. I think it might be.
It possibly could be. we got some drifting and some dapping going on here. I like that.
Drifting and dapping. And here we have McCoy Lake Excavating. Happy 150th birthday to Canada from all of us at McCoy Lake Excavating, serving the island since 1972. Okay, big machines. That's the other thing you need in the Port
Gotta
Alberni
have big machines.
Gotta have big machines.
Yeah.
Big diggers.
Which is great because I'm usually looking for tractors too. So I mean, there's all these things you can't have a parade without these things, right? So
you can't do it. It just can't be done.
That's right. So and we even have a flyby, it looks like, by
an interesting plane.
That's fascinating. We're getting flybys by planes. We're having it all today.
Got bubbles, we got cranes, we've got motorcycles.
And what do we have here? The Port Alberni Port Authority? No, McCoy Lake Excavating, yeah. And the number 52 is the Port Alberni Port Authority, proud to contribute to the economic, social, and cultural diversity of the community. In addition to operating shipping terminals, developing Centennial Pier and Tyee Landing, and working to achieve new transshipment terminal path. The Port manages fishermen's harbor, commercial fishing, marina, along with recreational marinas of the Clutie Haven, Harbor Key, China Creek Marina, as well as the China Creek Campground. And that's what we have here, the China Creek Campground, which was probably full this weekend as they had a 2 sockeye fish opening this weekend finally. So thanks, Dave. The Port Alberni
Dave McCormick from Port Alberni Port Authority.
Just asking us how our day is, just in case you couldn't hear that. So.
And more motorcycles because the toy run just goes on and on and on, people.
I like how they're spread out.
Yeah.
They're here and there, and they just kind of come up and down. So they show everybody how it's going. The toy run is, again, it's one of those things. It's Port Alberni tradition now. Just raising so much money for local kids. I mean, if you don't have time to be part of the toy run, you really should try.
Oh, Charles, these are some beautiful bikes.
Well, that's actually my other dad Rob there, who's riding that bike. So I asked him if I could ride his bike in the parade this year, and he just kind of looked at me all weird through his beard. So
the Port Alberni Poker Run and Show Your Shine, of course.
That's right.
Poker Run in the morning, Show and Shine in the afternoon.
Oh, tons of prizes for giveaways for all riders. They have a live band and dance that night with a beer fridge raffle. It's the Port Alberni Poker Run and Show Your Shine. That's what this group is. Right? And number 53, I wait for these, the Alberni Valley Vintage Tractor Club. And it looks like Mr. Milken right there, the head of the group, and Pete there, great guy, still plays ball to this day on Wednesdays. I love that guy. So we got a Ford. You gotta start with a Ford. I like that. Great paint on that. But nothing runs like a deer. Right after that.
Oh, and there's Bob's Buggy.
Bob's Buggy, and that's a beauty too. I can only imagine how well that goes in a straight line.
Unbelievable.
Maybe not so much on corners, just looking at the wheelbase, but...
Okay, right behind tractors, we have the Industrial Heritage Society and the Centennial Bells.
Isn't that nice?
Walking and riding with 150 years of fashion. Everything from hoop skirts to go-go boots is riding on that truck. Oh, and some lovely ladies. Oh, I do believe that is... Oh, maybe a 1912 bathing suit. Could be. Oh, there's 1967. Yes, I am wearing a 1967 suit, too. Lovely ladies. Everything from hoop skirts to go-go boots is riding on that truck. The Bells are a small group of vintage fashion enthusiasts who put on fashion shows and exhibits.
And don't forget,
you may have noticed the windows in the Colson building on 3rd Avenue, but the big thing, it's coming up. The Jane Austen Festival, July 14th, 15th, and 16th, trying to break the Guinness Book of World Records for the most people together dressed in Regency. Visit them online, www.centennialbells.ca.
And next up, we have the Industrial Heritage Society coming around, ladies and gentlemen.
And Mr. David Hooper is going to take over and give us a little bit of commentary on them.
Coming into view here with the green pickup, that's Hank Backen, and he's pulling a model Challenger, which he built 1,600 hours in his basement, finishing a job that the ADSS metalwork students and Bob Walthouse started 20 years ago.
Wow.
So that's an accomplishment we're seeing going by, and that's a made in Port Alberni truck, the Challenger by John Casanave. Okay, we got Danny Jones in the paper tractor, made in Port Alberni. The only survivor. Used to pull the paper rolls down to the paper mill dock. And there's the Sprout Lake Volunteer Fire Department that was at Great Central. The Ladies Fire Brigade used to run that one. That's Tommy Marr driving it. Now here's MLA Scott Fraser, now government MLA. He's looking happy. And he's on the Railroad Mac, 1938. That one used to work on the Vancouver waterfront, pushing and pulling rail cars. There he is, saluting you. And that is Ken Rutherford driving it. And there is Scott Fraser's significant other on the other side. Dolores Fraser, thank you. Okay. And here is, we're going to use the word iconic. The first truck ever restored by the Industrial Heritage Society, the 1947 Hayes. R.B. McLean, I like that phone number, 39. Don't you wish you had a short number like that? And coming behind, we got the illustrious, iconic Soup Campbell with a model double A. You've heard of model single A's. That's a single A behind there. That's his wife, Susan. Susan behind there in a Model A pickup truck and a Model double A in front. Soup wanted to take that to a Model A show in Vancouver, and to his great disgust, it broke down en route.
Oh.
Okay, here we've got Yvon Chase driving the Mack truck restored by Bobby Dingsdale. So Evo's looking very happy. He's been trying to get to drive one of these things for the last year.
He's a little ecstatic, he says.
Yeah, he is slightly happy, put it that way. There it is, a toot for the crowd. Yep, that one used to log out under Larry McKenzie, up the Beaver Creek way. And that's
I do believe
entry.
that's almost the end of it. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, Mr. Hooper. Really appreciate you coming down from the Industrial Heritage Society. Looks like we have Burke's Intertruck right here as well. And of course, the Port Alberni, the closing banner is supposed to be here somewhere, but we don't see it. But we do have the Port Alberni Aerosmith Amateur Radio Club.
So involved in every parade, helping with the staging, helping keep things organized.
And not only that, in critical response, huge disasters, that group's going to be integral to the safety of the community and the safety of the people here. So big thank you to them for being part of today's parade. And the Pinto is actually supposed to be the last one today.
The Pinto in Canada, red and white.
Red and white, and the Pinto will end up. So
that does bring us to the end of the Canada Day Parade. Thank you so much for watching Shaw TV's coverage. I would like to thank volunteer camera operators Casey Trott and Gerald Labute, Drake Evans on audio, and Riley Evans doing switching on their very first parade with their dad, Darren Evans, on his 50th parade.
Isn't that nice? 50 some odd, I guess.
50 some odd. I think he was 4 years old when he started.
Something like that.
Something like that. I'm Nancy Wilmot.
I'm Charles Mealy, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.